That's a big waste if you wound an animal.
Hey everybody, John here from Trigger Finger Shooting. Just wanted to give you a little synopsis of my deer hunting season this year. Um, bow season starts in October in my part of the country, and I'd gone a couple of days in October. Had seen some, passed over one that I really didn't want to take a shot at. Um, it didn't have much of a chance to go, other than just maybe 2 days at the most. And so now it is middle of November, and I wanted to get in and make sure I was able to get a deer before shotgun season had started later this week. So I'd gone out, set up a ground blind on Saturday. It was very windy out in this grassy area where a large buck had been seen, and the wind picked up overnight. And I went back out there Sunday morning, and my ground blind was gone. I looked all over for it. I was a little frustrated, a little confused, and that pretty much ruined all of my morning for hunting on Sunday morning. So after I was not able to find my ground blind, I was watching this little yearling over here for a little bit in a different tree stand. And I didn't know if I really wanted to take a shot at it or not. It's kind of small, but I was really wanting to get my deer this week. So I didn't know what the rest of the week would look like. So here I'm just watching it, been watching it for a little while. I'd seen some deer on the other side of the tree stand, but they were way too far away. So now I'm watching this one, trying to decide whether or not I really want to take a shot at this one or not. Eventually it was kind of inching closer and closer. It's still a little ways out there. I know it's on GoPro, so GoPro has a wide angle, so it's closer than it looks from the GoPro camera. And I decided I think I'm going to go ahead and take a shot at this. Not quite entirely sure if I want to or not, but I can get 2 deer on my deer tag, so I'm going to take a shot. It was standing broadside to me, so I couldn't resist. Ooh, and there it goes. Ran about 10 yards away and stopped and looked around to see what was going on. I could see that I missed it. I missed kind of high and to the right. I think I had misjudged the distance and used the wrong um, pin on my scope. I'm shooting a crossbow here. Barnett Whitetail Hunter, I believe it's called. I have a review of that from last year. At this point in time, I'm watching the deer, wondering if it's going to come back. So I keep my eye out on it, watching it for a few more minutes. And it's getting pretty dark at this point. We have until a half hour after sunset, and at this point the sun has already set. It looks pretty bright in the GoPro, but it's a little bit darker in real life. And then the deer decides to go ahead and it's going to walk away. So at that point in time, I figure my hunting is done for today. I hang it up and start again tomorrow. So this is now Monday morning. I got out to my tree stand a little bit late. I'm in a different stand than I was Sunday afternoon. This is now Monday morning. And I'd already seen a couple deer on my way out to the tree stand. And I'd heard a deer out in the woods to my left. Must have been, I think it was probably a buck actually making a buck rub. So it was just crashing, something was just crashing into the trees. And then I saw a deer to my right here. There's a kind of a bigger creek. When I say big creek, it gets, well, it's probably 15 feet across at this point. And I saw it across the creek, which is not on our property. And I'd been watching it for a few minutes. And then it came across the creek onto our side, which is now our side of the property. And I actually can see it. It's very small on the screen, but it's right in the middle of the screen here, just walking a little bit from right to left. I could see that this was a buck. Not a big buck, but 8-pointer. I was watching it, and at this point in time, I didn't know if it's going to go, straight away from me up the hill. It's a slight hill going away from me, or if it's going to come towards me. And between me and the deer right now, there's this ditch that you can see curving around, on the left side, and then the ditch kind of curves over to the right. So I'm watching this deer, wondering which direction he's going to go. It's kind of interesting. In the background, you can hear, several miles away, there's a train tracks going through town. And you can be on this tree stand here and hear the train horns and the noise from the tracks, even though it's at least 3 miles, probably more than that. But just the way the ground is, I guess, bowl shape, it must amplify all the sound of the train that's in town here. So that's what you hear in the background is actually the sound of the train in town. So I keep watching this deer. And it's behind some trees here. But I can tell it's at least possibly coming in my direction, which is good. So at this point in time, I had, made up my mind that if it comes close, then I'm going to take a shot at it. And it's not quite visible on the camera there. Now you can kind of see it right in the middle of the screen, walking from right to left. And at this point in time, I'm pretty excited because it looks like it's going to follow along this ditch and come towards me. And it's kind of walking at a fast pace, so I'm kind of thinking, okay, I need to make a decision here. And right here it seems to be looking right in my direction. So I'm like, okay, that's right above it. Ooh, and I take my shot. And it runs up the hill. So I'm watching it. And I see it fall to the ground up there. So I'm pretty sure I got a good hit on it. And ironically, this was the exact same path the doe I shot last year took, except the doe was a little bit closer. So if you want to watch that video from last year, I'll link it up there.
So I tracked it up the hill These deer. Excuse me. So I tracked this deer up the hill. Ran, I suppose, maybe a good 30 yards, maybe a little, probably 40 yards up the hill, and dropped right here. So you can see I got a good shot through the shoulder here. I don't know, that looks like the exit wound. So I need to flip him over, see if my arrow went all the way through it. But as you can tell, he's kind of a small, like an 8-pointer. On the small side for 8-pointer, but nice symmetrical. You got some rack on the thing. Good sized body though. So I'm going to take this. I'll probably have it butchered. I like having them processed and turned into. I'll probably have it made into mostly like summer sausage and deer sticks. Those are my favorite. So we'll see. But I basically have 4 days of hunting this week, so I knew I was gonna probably take the first one that I came across. Missed the one yesterday. That was a really small one. I don't know why I missed it, but and this one, nice clean shot and good kill. I hate to see a wounded animal where you never recover them. I think that's a big waste if you wound an animal and you're not able to recover it. I always like to see animals recovered and put on the table. So if you're going to kill it, I think you should eat it. That's my philosophy. So now it's got to field dress it and get it brought up to be processed. Thanks for watching.